Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Inside Track, Echo Base's weekly handicapping podcast, sponsored by FanDuel Racing, where we give our analysis, picks, and wagers for a couple of the weekend's top races. Download the app and bet now with FanDuel Racing. I'm your host, Ben Kudla, and today I'm excited to welcome back on the show Vinny Blonde, co-host of the Doubling Down podcast with our friend Colin Sheehan. Born and raised in Saratoga, Vinny joins us to share his picks and analysis for the G3 Glen Cove Stakes in Vinny's neck of the woods over there at BAQ, the Grade 1 Queen Elizabeth II Challenge Cup Series Stakes, that's a mouthful, and the Grade 2 Franklin Stakes on Sunday down by me at Keeneland. Opening weekend did not disappoint. Gosh, Spendthrift Farm, what a powerhouse last weekend, going 4 for 4 with a win in the Grade 3 or Grade 1. Alcibiades with Tommy Joe placing first through a DQ. Ted Noffey, that was just a brilliant performance, winning the Grade 1 Breeders' Futurity. Something else to watch in person too. I mean, he was so dominant.
I remember on a debut, because Colin was actually up at Saratoga because he debuted Whitney weekend, and Colin showed me his early pick 5 ticket, and I look over at him like, Colin, I'm like, you got to use the 1, and he's like, why? I've heard this Ted Noffey horse is the real deal, and he ended up winning, and he's like, thank you, and he ended up hitting that pick 5, so he was like, thank
Hell
you,
yeah.
because he wouldn't have had that early pick 5 if he didn't put Noffey on. But yeah, he looks great. I'm excited
Just
to see him
amazing.
run. I'm excited to see him run in the Breeders' Cup. He just looks so mature for a 2-year-old.
Well, and now with oh gosh, the Champagne winner, I can't think of the name going out. What's his name? Napoleon Solo. Yeah, he's not running. I mean, I really don't know who's up for the challenge for Ted Noffey.
Yeah, it's maybe one of what is it Brant out west for Baffert there.
Yes, yeah.
And that will be your 1-2 probably for betting wise, and that's it. Maybe the winner of whoever won the American Pharaoh looked all right too. But
who was that?
I forget. Beat 4 Bafferts though, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah, no, what? Yeah, he had like more than half the field in that race, and he came out the winner.
Yep. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, I'm excited for that Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Ted Noffey looks like he could be something special.
Oh, wholeheartedly agree. And him and Tommy Joe. I mean, now they got back-to-back Grade 1 wins, 3 for 3. They're both third, I believe, in their 2-year-old divisions. And then also Spendthrift Farm had Tamara, the 4th foal out of Beholder, romp by 3 3/4 lengths in the Grade 2 Chillingworth. I was so interested. I mean, this first start in 11 months. She already has a Grade 1 win. They didn't really need a runner. And I mean, but Richard Mandela, I mean, that's why he's a Hall of Famer. He gets him ready, you know?
Yep. So yeah, Spendthrift had a huge weekend.
Huge weekend. Rhetorical going back to Keeneland, highest Equibase speed figure of the week, earning a 120 on his 3/4 length win for trainer Will Walden's first ever Grade 1 career victory. That was cool. Jin goes gate to wire, upsetting the Grade 1 spinster by head over Nitrogen. That ultra talented filly. Torpedo Anna to finish a distant 4th. We kind of heard from Kenny McPeak that could have been her last race. I know she's getting a bone scan probably now, actually, and we'll hear this weekend. You know what they do with her. What are your thoughts on her in retirement and her career?
She's had a great career. I don't think they really need to do more with her.
I agree.
It'd be cool if she could go back to back in the Breeders' Cup. My big thing on her was she was very, very good at 3, and I just don't think she ever improved turning 4, and that's okay. You don't always see the improvement. But she's basically, numbers wise, it doesn't really matter what numbers you're looking at. They kind of all look the same. As her 3-year-old year, the outlier clearly would be the Travers, where she ran a monster race, but it was against the boys, so usually those get rated a little bit higher. But you look at her races this year, like especially like you use like pretty much
Latroin, I think. Oh
yeah, like they're all the speed figures. They're roughly around the same what she was running. So I just don't think she improved. She's still obviously a very talented filly, but I would rather see them just go out like, hey, like she's done, than try to wheel her back in less than a month in the Breeders' Cup and for her to finish like 5th or 6th. Like
I couldn't agree more. I think they really should honestly end on a high note. I guess it's not the highest note, but no one's really hurting on her too much for that fourth in that race. And she just brought so many fans, I think, just together and into the sport. And I guess all good things come to an end.
Right.
Racing's a tough sport, but we saw the best. I mean, 2024 horse of the year. But anyway, with the Breeders' Cup, just 3 weeks into that Breeders' Cup, and still plenty fall racing action with a very nice field for this Grade 1 Queen Elizabeth II. Speaking of fall racing action, now through November 2nd, get a quarterly subscription to Racelands for just $99. Save $200 with code BC99 at checkout. And with that quarterly subscription, you can play in the free Race to the NHC, a series of free weekly handicapping contests on horseplayers.com every Saturday. Top 2 finishers in each weekly feeder contest will make their way to the Raceland's Final 50, February 22nd. The top 2 finishers in that get a seat to NHC 2026 with a travel voucher and a 4-night stay to Horseshoe Casino in Las Vegas. So learn more over there at equibase.com/NHC. So let's dive into these races. The Grade 3 Glen Cove Stakes, race 10 on Saturday at BAQ at the 4:53 p.m. Eastern Post. 6 furlongs in the outer turf for 3-year-old fillies. This race has just been upgraded to a Grade 3 for the first time in 2025. Last year's winner was L&J for trainer Brad Cox with Flavian Pratt aboard. Interesting group of fillies in here, and none of them really stood out to me, but there are a couple really interesting ones. Who'd you land on in here?
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought this was a race where you could definitely look for a little bit of a price at least. I ended on Anna Skull for Miguel Clement with Junior. I like how this horse has looked looked this year. Coming off the allowance win at Saratoga, got a little bit of time off. Likes to kind of be relatively near the pace, so I thought that sets up well against this field. And like a little bit of a jockey downgrade. Had Irad last time, doesn't get Irad this time. But I thought against this field with the outside post, hopefully with a good break, she's not too wide throughout, and just improves off that Saratoga win.
I love it. It was really interesting between those two Miguel Clement horses, right? They seem very similar in class, almost not maybe not running style, but just overall, seemingly pretty similar. What do you think about that outside post in the 10, though?
Yeah, I don't love it. Definitely would not single here, but after I handicap looked, morning lines 5-1 looks like should be around like third choice. Maybe it maybe floats up a bit. Around 5 or 6-1. I'm okay giving like taking a shot with an outside post.
Yeah,
If this horse was the favorite, I'd probably be against though because I really don't love that outside post.
I agree. But no, I like the pick nonetheless. I went with Pop Idol here. I know you got that one over there in third for the other George Weaver horse, who honestly I think he can go 1-2. We'll talk about this 3 a little bit later, but gosh, what an interesting horse she is. But Pop Idol, McLean's Music filly bred in Canada. Subsequently, that's where she started her career, finishing third on debut on the all-weather. Shipped down to Saratoga, finishing fourth on a muddy track that was taken off the turf. And finally broke her maiden back up at Woodbine, going 5.5 on the all-weather, earning an 87 Equibase speed figure. She ran 6 by 3 3/4 lengths in that Grade 3 matron. In similar conditions today, going 6 furlongs on the dirt at BAQ in October, losing to Abiento, the 9 in here. Follows that up with 3 straight wins. Wins in AOC, back up at Woodbine, the all-weather by 2 1/4 lengths. Then wins in restricted company and the Shady Well Stakes, again going 6 furlongs in the all-weather at Woodbine, earning an 88 Equibase speed figure in November. Takes a long layoff, resurfaces this August, goes gate to wire, doing the Galway Stakes at Saratoga, going 5.5 on the turf in her first start after that 9-month layoff. Earns a career best 92 Equibase speed figure with Johnny V aboard. And she beat Abiento. And the favorite here, Love Cerveria, in that race as well, which I think was huge. And last time out, she got in a speed duel on that front end at Woodbine, that restricted stakes, finished fourth by 7 lengths. But John Velasquez, I mean, the amazing weekend he had at Keeneland, was at 5 wins on Saturday. Yeah. just nuts. Age 53, just gosh, what a rider. But he's back in New York, and I think it's a huge plus. He's back aboard Pop Idol for the first time since their win in the Shady Well. Little race lens angle. I did want to do some research on Johnny V. When he's reunited with a horse he's won on previously, but was not aboard in their most recent start, he's winning at 31% over the past 6 months with a plus 46% return on investment. Yeah, I thought this is a really good spot for her. Third off a long layoff, nice bullet work on October 6th as well. 4-1 seemed more than fair to me.
Yeah, I actually like that they're stretching back out. That last race got in a speed duel. It was only at 5 furlongs though.
Yeah.
So stretching back out today. It's still a sprint, but there definitely is a difference between 5 furlong speed and 6 furlong speed. So I think this is I do think this horse is going to bounce back, which is why I have the horse in third as well. I think this horse makes complete sense.
Well, we both have flat out time. It was hard for me not to pick this horse on top just as a
Yep.
value, perspective. But I want to hear your thoughts in here because we haven't talked about this at all. So this will be
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, no, I agree. Actually, I was very close to putting this horse on top. If the field in the Prioress was a little deeper, I probably would have. I think that third is just as good as some of these other horses wins in here.
Well, and
So
then that was to Praying, who we just saw win the Grade Two Thoroughbred Club of
right,
America. Yeah,
exactly. Like I think that was a very I think that was a very good third there. I really like the spot here. So yeah, I think this horse makes huge sense. I would be shocked if she was 10-1. I
I
feel
would
like
too. I would too. I
I
mean, it's
feel
just
like
I guess it's the question mark of going on the turf for the first
yeah,
time.
but I would rather I feel like I would rather have the dirt horse go to turf for the first time like her that does have some speed than the other way around. Uh because I don't see any reason why she shouldn't take to the turf.
Yeah,
Uh
especially not this time. I think they're at like
yeah,
18% all
right.
starts on
Yeah.
turf.
Yeah. So it's not like she doesn't have a turf pedigree. Weaver in my one of the best turf sprinting trainers in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's just very good at sprinters. So I trust him here.
Well, I did some digging too. So he's actually winning at 21%. Horses going from turf to dirt the past 3 years on the Naira circuit. So 12 wins from 56 starts. Actually a plus 73% return on investment. And this mare, flat out speed, she's a winner of 8 of 10 races, including the Iowa Oaks
Yep.
at Prairie Meadows. So just so interesting. I mean, they bought this horse privately after broke her maiden by 5 lengths over there at Fauner Park from owner trainer Annie Hines. Just so interesting. Increasing
Yeah.
equity speed figures in every single start, training really well. I love George Weaver. I really respect him as a trainer. Just yeah, 10-1 would be huge.
Yeah, I would be shocked. But yeah, 10-1, like this horse is 100% on my tickets. 'Cause
Yeah,
I think she makes a lot of sense in that third place. I feel like a lot of people might see that third place finish out of like I think it was either a 5 or 6 horse field and be like, eh. But if you
yeah,
watch
just
that
5 horse
replay,
field.
yeah, you watch that replay though, she actually ran a very, very good race, and like you said, against a winner who came back to run very well again.
Exactly, exactly. So there you go. Vinny's going with 10-3-5. I'm going with 5-3-2. Let's move on to, I think, the feature race of the week, the Grade 1 Queen Elizabeth II Challenge Cup Series Stakes, race 9 on Saturday's card at Keeneland with 5:16 p.m. Eastern Post Time. Mile and an eighth on the turf for 3-year-old fillies. Last year's winner was She Feels Pretty, dominating. Largest winning margin in race history, 6 lengths. For trainer Sherry DeVaugh with none other than John Velasquez aboard. Very competitive field of 9, including undefeated Laurelin for trainer Graham Motion. What are your thoughts on Laurelin in here?
I think she looks tough. She's done nothing wrong. She just
Yeah,
keeps winning.
perfect.
She just keeps winning. It's
Yeah,
like,
and increasing speed figures in every
yep,
single
yep,
start.
yep. She keeps answering every challenge. Motion is I like when Motion gets good horses. They're usually bet and they usually run very well. I like her. She's one of those horses that's definitely going to be on my ticket. I'm gonna play an exacta here, probably
Okay.
keying her and hope that she does run first or second. But I do really like Lush Lips in here. This is one of those horses that I've really liked this year. She doesn't always win, but she always runs. She always runs very well. Uh, I actually don't mind that second place finish last time out at in Del Mar. So I like that they're shipping her back here. They very easily could have kept her out there and run her in something to prep for the Breeders' Cup. They send her back to Keeneland. I think she's ready to run a big race.
I agree. And honestly, historically, horses who were runner-up in Grade 1 and coming back in graded stakes, we're running at 32% for the last 57 starts over the past 6 months. So, and their little race lines thing, a little plug, get that $99 quarterly
Yeah.
BC99 at checkout. Anyway, I don't know. Fion to me, gosh, just wow. Exceptionally talented twirling candy filly for Brad Cox, never finishing out of the money from 8 career starts. Broke her maiden her second career start, going mile 16th on the turf by 4 1/4 lengths at Fairgrounds back in December. And honestly, hasn't really looked back. Went on to win 2 more times in the winter at Fairgrounds, winning an AOC on the turf. They won her first list of stakes in the Lacombe Memorial by 1.25 lengths. Her only loss in 2025 came in the Grade 2 Appalachian Stakes at Keeneland in April, finishing third to Nitrogen and Vixen, going a mile on the turf, which isn't honestly exactly her preferred distance. She had a breakthrough win, graduating to a graded stakes win with a win in the Grade 3 Regret at Churchill, going back to her preferred 1 1/8 mile on the turf distance, earned a 106 echo base speed figure. And then following her win in the Regret, she ran arguably the best race of her career, winning the Grade 1 Belmont Oaks Invitational, nosing out Nitrogen, an opulent restraint to 5 in here on July 5th. I do want to watch this replay because it is just so good. We'll take this, but Nitrogen's the 7, Fion's the 5, and honestly, when you get to the 16th pole, it's like, it doesn't really look like Fion's going to get there, and Nitrogen's like, okay, all right. Honestly, props to Opulent Restraint for setting that blistering pace and staying up there like that.
Yeah, and I said this to Colin afterwards that like I honestly think that's what won the race for
yeah, 1,000,000%, dude.
That opulent restraint fought back. I mean, nitrogen passes are turning for home, and then she fought back, and I really think that like extra 50, 60 yards there of Nitrogen trying to put away opulent restraint really kind of just set her up to get nosed out there late. Which and then I mean what Nitrogen off of that came back to win the Alabama, I believe was her next
she
start.
did. Yeah. I mean,
like, and she almost won last weekend. She got nosed.
Yeah, nosed out against Jin for the spinster. Oh man, I was.
Yeah. So like both very very good horses. So yeah, it would not surprise me. I just, you take the top. I think either way you split it here, the top 3 betting choices, I'd be shocked if one of them didn't win.
Yeah, that would be tough. That would be.
But yeah, I went with Lush Lips over Fian, but I could definitely see the other side of that. But this is where I think I might play that Key Exacta and Key Motions horse second and play like 9-1 over 2 and just
honestly that could almost be a pretty solid just straight up try box. That was right. Yeah, I mean if you really believe in just those 3.
Yeah, I think the depending on the odds, the box might be tough, but like you can't, like that's where like if you key it and you get your key right and the other 2 run like you think they will, I think it could make complete sense that you can get either second or third money over the favorite over second or third money. That could definitely, you could probably get like 4-1 out of that.
I'd say so. No, honestly, we were talking to the show today, Thursday at Keeneland. I mean, his 2 favorites won the first 2 races. It's kind of an underlay. So sometimes you get these, especially if you're willing to key, like you said. And yeah, Laura Lynn, just nothing wrong. That'll be really tough to beat her with Kendrick Carmouche leaving New York to ride this filly. He's only has 2 starts at Keeneland the past 5 years. So for him to really want this mount really says something. And Graham Motion, I mean, especially over the turf. Over the past year, he's winning at 29% for 52 starts with winners last time out on the turf. So you got that. And I mean, he's just a world-class trainer. So it's going to be an amazing race for real. I'm really excited to be there for that.
It should be the race. I think that will be the race of the weekend.
Oh, 1,000,000%. Well, Vinny and I both got the same top 3, but Vinny's going with Lush Lips, and I got Fion on top. And last but not least, let's move to Sunday. The Grade 2 Franklin Stakes, race 7 on that card at Keeneland with the 4:12 p.m. Eastern Post, 5.5 furlong turf sprint. Again for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Last year's winner was Future Is Now, back in here to defend her title. Basically the exact same path as last year, going from the Grade 2 Intercontinental Stakes, the Grade 3 Crest Stakes, and then the Smart and Fancy Stakes, and now the Franklin. So doing it all again. 75 more in the line favorite here, kind of tough to make some money. You think she can be beat at all?
I really don't. I think we were talking before. Like Pipsy makes the most sense to try to beat her, but like
Yeah.
she's like I feel like the thing with Future Is Now is that she's very versatile. And it just makes it very tough to try to beat her. And like I feel like the way you do is you hope maybe she stumbles a little bit at the break and gets left behind. Like that's like the horse she it shows up every time. And
Literally every time. Yeah.
Trombetta does an absolutely amazing job with this horse. And like yeah, like even when she doesn't win, like what second 3 back, like 7 back came in third.
Yeah, no, she's second by a half length, third by a half length, fifth by just 3.5, second by a half.
Right.
I mean, so she doesn't run a bad race.
No. So I think I really like this horse. This would be this would probably of all 3 races that we're going over, this would be my single. Probably the obvious one because 7 to 5 in the morning line probably get 4 to 5. But I just think this is one that unless you really have a strong opinion, like this isn't one of those chalks to just completely toss and play against.
Well, honestly, the most amazing thing to me is usually when you get mares, coming around 5 years old, now she's about to be 6, they kind of get disinterested in racing, but not her. I mean, she's 3 for 4 this year with a second. I mean,
Trombetta's just done such a great job with this horse. And Irad gets the mount.
Yeah, I mean, Paco can't be up for obvious reasons, but yeah, talk about a nice replacement.
Right, exactly. So like sure, it's a horse race. Anything can happen, but I'm not trying to beat this. I'm not trying to beat her.
Well, you know what? I'm going to. I'm going to try to go for Pipsy, but I am going to hammer this exact. I think you might actually get maybe a little underlay. People are kind of hammering this 7 Luna Luska a little bit, but Future is hard, not very tough to beat. But I'll give it a go with Pipsy. I beat her. What did she win in the? What was that? The Intercontinental? Yeah, Pipsy won. So this horse had 2 wins in Ireland, including a stake race back in October 2023 before coming to the States in May last year, and then won the Grade 3 Soaring Softly Stakes, her North American debut off that 8-month layoff. She's definitely inconsistent. Runs 8th in the Tepin Stakes last June. Nearly misses the Grade 2 Music City at Kentucky Downs in September of 2024. To Simply in Front, we just saw win the Grade 1 First Lady last weekend. Love that horse with Ben Curtis. Ben Curtis, very underrated rider. I think he's uber talented.
100%. I hope he keeps getting good mounts.
I agree. He's earned it. Straight up earned it.
Agreed.
But anyway, then she runs 7th in last year's Grade 2 Franklin. 2 Future Is Now, placed 6th through a DQ, although only lost by 3 3/4. But takes a 6-month layoff, comes back for Keeneland April meet, winning allowance optional claimer by 2 lengths under Joel Rosario, earning a career best and tied for best in this field, 109 Equibase speed figure. And then probably the most impressive run of her career, she beats Future Is Now by a half length in the Grade 2 Intercontinental at Saratoga in June, earning a 104. Even actually drawn off a little. The third point of call, she was only ahead, and then won by half a length. But comes back to running the Grade 3 Crest, clips heels, finishes a distant 8th. But honestly, I think that's why we're going to see the value on her at 5 to 1, seeing that 8th place finish. And she comes back to run 5th by 4 lengths on the Grade 2 Mint Kentucky Turf Sprint. But to me, that's a great sign that she has at least a race since then. She's kind of gained a little bit of confidence. It ran a 103. And she finished 4th behind Kadeem in 3rd, who came back to win the Grade 2 Woodford Stakes in his next start last weekend as well. So I don't know. I'm going to try to beat her, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean those are the 2 logical. I think, like you said, if that exact is paying, like if you can get 7 to 2, 4 to 1 on this exact, I think it's well worth it. I think they are the top 2 in here.
No, wholeheartedly agree. But it'll be a fun weekend of racing. Regardless, the weather is absolutely perfect here in Kentucky as well. It's finally fall. We had a huge rainstorm Tuesday. It was like one of the most amount of rain we've had in like 100
Oh,
years or something like that.
oh,
And then all of a sudden it got like hella cold. It's 46 this
oh,
morning.
oh yeah. No, that's today. We have a. It's been like in like the 60s, 70s, and 80s here for
Yeah,
weeks, and now tonight we have a frost warning. It was mid
crazy.
50s today, and it's supposed to be like in the 40s tomorrow, but it's supposed to get below 30 tonight. And it's just like where like, we
Oh
did this.
God,
I feel
yeah.
like
I forget you're so far north in the 30s. Oh God.
we did this last year too. It went from like summer. It just went from like summer. We had like a week of fall, and then it was just winter. And it was just
Yeah.
like, oh well, like I kind of like the fall weather, but like yeah, just
What extreme to the other. But
yep.
anyway, Vinny, this is always fun with you. Thanks so much for being on the show. Thanks everybody for watching. Good luck in your wagers this weekend. We'll see you next week.